Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I do my full face routine. So if you would like to know how to get full flawless coverage and contour and how I go about my daily kind of foundation routine, then please keep on watching. Okay guys, so let's get started. So first of all, I do have drier skin, so the products that I'm using are geared towards my skin type. So if you don't necessarily have dry skin, you can kind of pick and choose what products, but mainly just watch this just to learn how to do the steps and any tips and tricks that I have for everything that I do to my face. Okay, so the first step for me is to hydrate. I do this by using my MAC strobe cream here. This is just the original one. I just really love this because it really helps to illuminate the skin. I usually put it kind of everywhere, but mostly focus it on the high points of your face. So just put that on. I like to put it on my forehead, my eyes, around my temples, my chin, cupid's bow. So again, pretty much everywhere, but focus it on the high points, just to give yourself a nice natural looking glow. So the next step I do is to prime. So what I like to use for primer is, again, a nice hydrating one. This one is from Smashbox, so it is their Photo Finish Primer, and this is the Radiance one with hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is an amazing ingredient for your skin. It's basically going to hold and absorb about 10 times the amount of water in your skin. So it's going to be really hydrating, it's going to plump up your skin, it's just going to make it look super glowy. And keep your makeup on longer as well. I just like to massage it in until it is all blended. So, next one I am going to do is my foundation. So, today I'm going to be using, I think, my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. And I am in the shade, I want to say 4, I believe. So, you just want to shake this up. Give it a good shake because it's pretty liquidy. Okay, so now that it's all shaken up, I am going to take just about a pump on my finger and just kind of dot it on. And now I'm just going to blend what I have there. I'm obviously going to use more than that. I just like to kind of build it up so I don't use too much. And I do put it on my eyes too, just to help a little bit when I prime to color any discoloration. Okay, so that is what it looks like with the first layer on. And I definitely prefer full coverage, so I am gonna add another layer. So I'll do another pump.
It's 12 o'clock.
Okay, so that was another pump. So now I'm just gonna blend all of this together. And this should get me to where I want my coverage to be. And I do prefer to use a beauty blender over brushes. It's just personal preference. I just like the way a beauty blender applies, and it just makes it go on really seamlessly. Never have to worry about any streaks or anything like that. Okay. So now that I have the coverage where I want it, I'm going to do concealer. So I do conceal under my eyes, and then I have a concealer for spots as well, because I do have a couple little like blemishes. So I'm going to start with concealing those spots first. So just little dots of all over wherever I need a little extra coverage. And then I'm just going to blend that out with my Beauty Blender as well. And I used, forgot to tell you, I used my Maybelline Fit Me concealer for that, and I used Shade of Light, because that one really blends in best with my skin tone. And I like the concealer because it's pretty good coverage. I would say like medium buildable, and it never looks cakey or anything like that. So now I'm going to use a second concealer for highlighting, and I'm going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape. And this is in shade Fair, so it is a little bit light for me right now. So I'm only going to be using a little bit, plus it is super full coverage, so you don't need a lot to begin with. But I'm just going to be doing kind of just a little triangle. Here, 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 a little on my chin. And I don't know if you guys can hear that squeaking or not, so I'm sorry if you can. It's just my cat. So, just gonna blend that out again. This concealer is really full coverage, so you definitely don't need a lot, like I said. You need the tiniest bit, and it spreads pretty nicely too. I just like to blend it up to like my temples. See how much it just like highlights already? It's really brightening. And then I'm just gonna put a little bit more on like the center of my forehead. And then I'm just gonna blend that out. Okay. Make sure nothing is creasing. Alright, so now that I have that on, I'm gonna set it with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. So what I like to do with this is take my Beauty Blender and put it directly in there, and then apply the powder with my Beauty Blender. Because since the Beauty Blender is wet, it's going to make the powder just go seamlessly into the skin. So I like to do my eyes first, just so that they don't crease, because that's definitely the one area on my face that creases easily. So I get right under my eyes, and I just set my lids at the same time, so it's more prepped for shadow. So now I'm just gonna do the other one. And you always want to make sure that you blend out any creases before you powder, or else you're basically going to just be setting creases in place, and we don't want that. Alright, so my under eyes are set, and now I'm going to set the rest of my face with this powder as well. Definitely almost time for a refill. So we're running low, but it's definitely my favorite. Works really well to blur everything out. It mattifies things, but it doesn't dry me out even more, which is awesome. Usually powders can be a little bit drying, but this one for me isn't at all. And it's good for any skin type. Really good for oily as well, since it is pretty mattifying. Will help to keep everything matte, keep your oils in, keep everything in place. And it is important to set really mainly wherever you conceal, just because since the concealer is a little thicker, it's more prone to creasing. So that's just what I would recommend. Okay, so now that my whole face is set, I am going to move on to contour. So today I'm going to be using my Marc Jacobs contour. It is in the shade 40 Mirage Filter. And what I like to use for contour is actually from any of the Benefit products that come with these little brushes. I love to use these because, as you can see, the bristles are really straight, so you can get a really nicely defined contour with it. So I'm just going to dip in there and just kind of run it back and forth. See that nice contour line that it creates? These Marc Jacobs powders are really easy to work with, easy to blend. And go back in with that like one more time. Okay, see how nicely defined that is now? So I'm going to add a little bit more, but with a little bigger brush. This is just from Morphe. I'm not sure what number it is, doesn't have one on it. And I just use this to kind of blend it up a little bit so that it doesn't look like there's just a harsh line. And I just go and buff it in circular motions. And I'm going to repeat that to the other side. And then I'd like to bring it up along my temples. Just because my face is a little bit more round, this kind of helps to slim it down a little bit. And then I'm just going to bring it up on my forehead to warm up my forehead a little bit as well. Always make sure you blend everything together as well. You don't want any harsh lines or empty spaces or anything like that. So my contour is pretty much done. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of bronzer and then blush. So for bronzer, I'm going to use from my Benefit Cheek Parade. I'm going to use Hoola, and just the original Hoola, not the light. I just want to bronze it up a little just to warm up my face, since the contour is definitely more cool toned. I just like to be bronzy. A little bit on my forehead. Okay, so now I'm going to add blush, and I think I'm going to use Rocketeur from the Benefit Cheek Parade as well, which is this one right here. Just smile, and I'm just going to focus it more on the apples of my cheeks. And bring it back a little bit just to kind of tie it together with everything else. Okay, so now that the blush is on, I'm going to do my favorite part, which is highlighting. So I'm going to use my favorite highlight, which is MAC Soft and Gentle. This one, it works for me. Every time I don't know what highlight to use, I go for this one. It just makes it look so natural, but blinding at the same time. And I feel like this color is really suitable for a lot of skin tones. When I'm really fair in the wintertime, I can still use it. When I'm tanner in the summer, I can still use it. It looks good. So that's why I love this. So for this, I'm going to be using my Sigma Tapered Highlight F35 brush. This is my favorite brush. It grabs product really well and it applies really well too. So I'm just going to take that on my cheekbones. Bring it up and around. If you guys can see that glow. Oh my gosh. I am obsessed. And I do like to highlight pretty much everywhere, especially since I'm drier. I like to give my skin a really pretty glow. You obviously don't have to highlight all of these places that I'm highlighting, but this is just what I like to do. Like literally everywhere. And then why don't I just add a second layer on my cheeks, because why not? This is just, oh, it's my favorite ever. And then last thing that I like to do is go back in with this brush that I used, oh, by the way, which is the Sephora Pro Airbrush number 55, which I used for my bronzer and my blush. So I go back in with that with no product on it, and I just take it and kind of stamp it over my highlight to blend everything together a little bit more, so I don't have just like a line of highlight or anything, but make sure I don't take away from the highlight either. So, bam, bam. This highlight is so gorgeous. I highly recommend it, and this is my second one, so I've gone through an entire one of these, and it lasted me probably a year, and I used it almost every single day. So to me, it's completely worth it. So the next step that I have, and one of the final steps for my face, is to set it. So first I like to use the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist to kind of just diffuse any of the powders, bring out all the glow. So I'll do one spray. And you don't want a lot of this because it does have oils in it, so if you use too much it will make you really oily. That's what I've learned from experience. And then the next thing I'm going to do is spray it with an actual setting spray so everything locks into place. And I'm going to be using my Kat Von D Lock It setting spray. I'm going to shake it a little. This one's nice. I like the mister. I also like the scent. It has cucumber scent, so it's really calming. So I'm going to spray that everywhere. When I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. Like, I just like to douse myself in this. Make sure everything feels moist. And I'm just going to wait for that to dry. Alright, so this is the finished look. I'm going to go off camera and do my brows and my eyes and finish up my makeup, and I will be right back. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope you guys liked it. See you in a minute. Okay guys, so I am back with my finished makeup look. I really love how my eyes came out today. This is what they look like. And I'm really thinking about making a tutorial on how I did this for you guys. So if you would like to see that, please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I do apologize for all of the noise in this video. My cat was being really playful, and then my laptop kept going off too, but it is what it is. I hope you guys didn't mind too much. So you can always follow me on my social medias. I will have all of that down below in the description box. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and you can always subscribe to my channel if you did really enjoy it as well. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!